help me in putting your hands together for the amazing Pontus Wellgraf. How you doing, my man?
What's up, Brandon? How are you doing?
We're going into After Effects here. What's happening?
Fade in, we wanted to move up, and then we add in keyframe and move it in, and then see the money signs coming up like this.
The amount of patience one needs to work with an After Effects, I lost ages ago. Only good topics here with Pontus and Brandon Groce, guys.
I had such a good time with Brandon this past Friday on the live stream, talking about 3D animation and design. And if you joined in live, thanks so much for joining in and contributing in the chat with all the great questions and conversations. This video is going to be a full recap of all that stream material, but also see the description for highlights and timestamps if you want to skip forward. But as we said, this is going to be more like an episode of a podcast, just talking through design and the process, and also a lot of questions along the way. So enjoy, and looking forward to hear what you think in the comments.
Guys, what is going on? It is your boy Brandon Groce, aka Mr. Nasty, here with you. Not really. Here with you on Behance. We have an amazing guest. If you guys came here from Instagram, we are super excited to have you. Let us know where you guys are coming from in the chat, and if you guys can hear us handy-dandedly and well, okay? So without any further ado, guys, okay, our amazing guest today has done some amazing work. If you guys take a look at the screen, this is just a sum of just a very few of his pieces here, and we're gonna learn just so much. I wanted to bring Pontus on because this shit you're not gonna get from me. You can only get this from masters, you feel me? My man has, and what we are going to do today, Pontus has beautifully put together some 3D amazing work, and he's gonna, what you guys are seeing on the screen today is what we're gonna actually run through today with him. So we're gonna actually go through his process of creating this beauty, as well as how exactly he's put it together in 3D, and we're gonna get all of this deliciousness in one fell round. Okay, guys, so please help me in putting your hands together for the amazing Pontus Wellgraf. How you doing, my man?
What's up, Brandon? How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I know we've been talking to each other for at least an hour now.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm super excited, but before we get into this, we all want to say hello to you in the chat. We're all very excited that Pontus is here. Denislav, what's up? Alex, what is going on? Mustafa, my man, you're here.
All the people here.
All the people. Guys, thank you so much for showing up. Pontus, we're so excited to have you. And before we even get started, man, because I know you are a very decorated designer, can you tell everybody here a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Here's the quick 10 seconds.
Quick 10 seconds.
Swedish guy moved away from a small town in Sweden a couple of years ago and decided to go to Stockholm. Larger, more opportunities, and studied Hyper Island, if you know about that school. Studied how to work in a team, a lot of good stuff in collaborations, and then I decided to take a job in the US. So I did all the journey of applying for a visa, getting to the US, the market of applying for a job as a foreign. A lot of hard work, but dedication to just get in there and challenge myself to get a job, and eventually made it there. And then after that, I've been with 2 different agencies here in San Francisco. Punch Cut, and then now Fantasy for 3 years soon. And super excited to just create new experiences in different ways with animation, with design, and everything with the user experience in mind. So, and this is just amazing. I've been on a flow now for the past weeks of sharing more of my process and my thinking and everything that goes behind these small shots of video and work. And it's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And super happy to share all of that. So today is going to be the raw process of how it's made. I barely remember how I made it. So it's good.
It's all good. Guys, you heard it from my man Pontus himself. You guys are going to get the real deal, the real fire. He gave the brief version, but guys, I don't think you guys know how hot and fire he is. He works for one of the top agencies on the West Coast of America, Fantasy. And then now we can get into the deliciousness. So I'm gonna go ahead and send it on over to Pontus. We have his amazing screen right now. Damn, he even gave us titles. He gave us titles for what he's gonna be working on today.
All right, let's start by having a little debrief of what is on my screen right now. So this is about Formula One. This is a thing that Dad always looked at when we were younger, and I've been very dedicated to follow this sport. I think what I like more rather than motorsport is the preciseness and the focus that people have when they drive. And they have a new car coming up in 2022. Super different than I have today. The competition is pretty hard. So I found a cool image online of this car, and I just wanted to make a concept about it and how it looked like if you got onboarded on Formula1.com about this new car, what's the changes since last year. And I just made a quick motion piece, as you saw earlier, and this is all about that. And so I can start by going through my design file, and when I start working, I basically just drag in my assets. So it started with just this photo. And in this case, it's a super simple setup. It's just a photo in the background, which is the main thing that leads this experience. And then we have type above it. So this is basically a carousel where you swipe through when you open it. And when you swipe this through, the photo itself is just swiping alongside of it. So it looks very immersive, but it's still very, very simple and delightful.
Can we see, Pontus, can we see the, because I know there's quite a few advanced people here, but I also know, I mean, I got you, but I know there's a couple people like, what is the magic that we're about to see? Can you pull up your prototype really quick
Sure.
with this just to recontextualize people so they can see what exactly you laid out here? And I apologize, we can go back and I can press that button.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was prepared. He was,
I got it.
See guys, put another one in the chat. My man is prepared out here. Look at that.
You gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared.
You always gotta be prepared,
It's a big
guys.
day. You don't want to mess this Friday up, Brandon.
I've already messed it up too many times, guys.
Yeah, you did.
Pontus is here. So it looks like, guys, very smooth. Oh, look at that. Swipe,
Yeah,
boom,
so I
pow.
think it's like two parts here.
Yeah.
The whole presentation itself, so it's very conceptual. Nothing is based on real development here, but I'm very sure this is feasible and you can build it in many different ways. But this is more of sparking inspiration, and you just do something new and different, and also present this in a very exciting way. And I think that's a big win when you pitch a project or you want to sell in an idea. You have to bring this to the game. And in this case, it's just a 3D phone that comes in from the bottom. And then we have a UI motion flow inside of the screen. And then you just place that playback. And then on swipe, I did that fun little twist with the phone. With some shadow in the background. And then also some dollar signs coming up when you talk about budget. So small details here. And I'm gonna walk you through both the motion flow and also the presentation.
Sweet. Now, guys, one thing I want to preface for you guys, this is going to be a little bit different. Now, obviously, we want to give you guys a step-by-step of the masterpieces that Pontus has put together, but we also, imagine this is going to be like a podcast, a technical podcast, kind of. So we're going to ask a lot about Pontus. We're going to talk a little bit to you. It's going to be distracting, and it's going to be a little bit different than a YouTube video, but I think it would be excellent to, you know, I think what you said was actually really excellent in terms of, you know, this isn't for, like, when you were doing this, you weren't thinking technical. This is to sell an idea to a client, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, so my reflection is I love to think feasibility as well, but I think it's tough doing it alone. This is stuff I do by passion on the side, and used to inspire people and see that you can do something fun from things. And then you can always stay back. You sync with your development team of how you make it real. And if it's not real, you just iterate on things that is more feasible.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you run. But guys, while he is, you know, going back and showing us what he was gonna show us again, I want to know in the chat. Just answer this in the chat. How many of you guys do the same process as Pontus in terms of like feasibility? When you want to show something to a client or sell something to a client, what is your approach? Answer that in the chat, and Pontus, I'm gonna hand it back over to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think it's a good balance, you know, today.
Yeah.
I think we have to have it in the back of our head, but I think if we have it in the forefront, we're gonna limit ourselves to things that is beyond feasibility.
Agreed.
So, okay, so my structure in my animation file is basically you know, this is the clean file. I have so many messy files in the beginning, just iterating on different ideas, artboards all over the place. But then when I go into animation, I usually do like a setup like this. I take down the flow of step by step how I want this to animate. In this case, I can analyze what kind of things I need to export. So in this case, it's just a photo in the background for stream fill. And then I also have titles that goes in. And here I can think about if I want these to come in like individually or not. So in this case, I can group these and just export this as a whole asset and move it.
Perfect.
But if I want them to come in like separately, they need to be separate. So here you can plan out the complexity of your animation file. And later on, you don't need to do that in the motion. So then I drag that down to assets. So here basically is the setup of how it would look like as a whole. And then I do the photo itself. I name them here and also have all the assets here. So in this case, I know that I don't want to change these texts. So I don't need to do like text elements and everything separate in After Effects. So in this case, I'm just going to export all these different things and use them. And then also lines is something I want to animate across the wing in the back, on the side, and also the motor shape. I had these. So in this case, I can make this in After Effects too, but it's going to be more complex. So I can take this one, place it above it in After Effects, and then use an effect in After Effects that like basically blend it in bit by bit. And that's also simplifying the whole thing. So I think the planning ahead is going to help you to do complex things pretty easy. So let's bring up my Finder window, and I'll create a new folder. Let's name this stream motion. Okay, there we go. And then I create a new folder called UI motion flow. Because we're going to do this separate. You can do everything at once, but I like to separate them in case they get heavy. So let's start here and add a folder. And again, you can do this in any way you want, but this is my OCD process. I just like to have it structured, and I know I've been panicking. When everything gets more and more complex with time, it's going to be so hard to just revert back. So I'm going to name this image. I'm later also going to have... No, we're only going to use images actually, so it's going to be fairly simple. And then we go back to the design program, select this one, click export, and then we use this.
Are you always that super organized when it comes to work? Like, man, when I was actually preparing for this live stream, I threw all my assets on the desktop. I was just like, "Go, Pontus, go! Just put it on the desktop."
Yeah, I kind of is. I'm trying to. I think it's just so powerful. It's been helping me a lot since I'm doing a lot of stuff like this, and
it saves a lot of time.
What do you say?
Does it save a lot of time for you?
It does. I think it's more sanity too. Like, you know, you note everything down you have to do for the day, also everything like ordered.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good to also live in a chaotic world sometimes.
My last name is Chaos, not Groce.
Nice. I mean, that works too. It's not one way.
There is no one way.
And
guys, I'm really curious for those of you guys who are in the chat. Do you guys thrive in order or chaos? And if one or the other, how do you...
That's interesting.
Yeah, like how do you guys in the chat balance and organize yourself? Because there's always like this conversation of... and Pontus, you can do your thing while I'm talking.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Because this is the chaos that I'm talking about. There's no order to this. If people have questions in the chat, we'll go back to it. But I think what's really going to be, and you guys on the chat can let us know also, what's most beneficial for you. Like, we want this to be not only educational, but we want this to be funny, hilarious. Like, we only do fire here on the Brandon Groce live stream, okay? We do this for you. All right, Pontus, we're going into After Effects here. What's happening?
Yes, so we have After Effects open here on the left, and we have the Finder window on the right. And I'm just showing you how I set up the animation. So what I'm doing is I have the same structure in the Finder as I have in After Effects, so I know where everything is. And I also do the same structure, asset, image, and then I drag in all the assets here. And then we can close this one, drag it over here. And then I also make a folder in the top, which is compositions, and that's basically to have all different compositions you want to have in that folder, so you know where those are. And we're gonna make a new one. I go up here in composition and new, and also make sure. Let me know in the comments also if you want me to slow down, fast forward, anything, any details. I love to get into this and have to adjust. And I named this. Let's do main for now. I think it's going to be fairly simple. This is one composition, and I'm going to do like 30 seconds. I usually do 60 frames a second as well, and that's it. I believe no iPhone X2X. There we go, and there we go. Okay, so I have it on the right side, and here we can start building out everything on this composition. But first, instead of dragging in these like manually and don't know where everything is, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my design program, go up to this screen, any screen really, export this one and save it as a reference. And this is step 1. And then I'm gonna go back to my Finder, I drag that in as well, and then I can place that above everything else.
I have a question. I see that your After Effects, because this is not how my After Effects look. I don't know if this is how my y'all's in the chats After Effects looks, but this looks very interesting. The timeline. Oh wait, you have the animation to the right. It looks like.
Yes. So I've been doing some tutorials lately. So I have one up on my YouTube channel about this, how you can customize your views. So this is maybe the view that you know about.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. So you can basically do whatever you want here. You have different settings. Adobe gives you all different sorts. Like this is pretty chaos.
That's not the chaos I want. I don't know what's happening.
I mean, this is I want to smack down my computer and go. This is too much. Right. But I did one for desktop with the like 16:9 format, and then I did one for mobile, so you can have it like up large on the right. You can also have this beautiful timeline. A lot of stuff here, and I can swap back and forth. So yeah. So we have the car in the background. So let's start by doing a new composition of that entire car. So we right click on the layer on the left, new comp from selection. We can name this car. Oops. Then we drag it up to compositions, and then we double click this to enter. Now we swap back to the desktop preview. Here you can also change the quality. So I'm going to do full for this time because nothing is moving, so it will not be heavy. Okay, and now we want to drag in the assets that are going to be on this page. And this is the motor area, is also the lines. There we go. Okay, and then we go back here. And now we're trying to align these. They're basically perfect because it's made to be that. And then I place them above. And this one is also on a blending mode for darken. To give that blending mode.
Can you explain to us what the blending modes are? Because I feel like every time, I don't know about you guys in the chat, I just roll dice and I'm like, fuck it, we're doing this one today. How do you know what each one does? Do you do the same thing and you're like, oh, darken looks okay? Do you do it by look or by understanding of what each one does?
No, I don't know.
You heard it here first. We're all guessing.
Like if there's anyone that knows this, how you know what each is, I wanna know that person because I need to know.
Yeah, we all need guys in the chat. If you know, please let us know because we're all out here like this don't look right. What's the next? What's the next? If darken doesn't work, let's try multiply.
Exactly. Okay. So we have everything out here for the car. That's going to be in the background. So we can head over to the main composition. And main. And then we drag in the car into this view. And then we want to shrink it down and place it above. And I usually do opacity so you can see how it looks like. And then you shrink it down. And I believe actually it's going to be the composition height. Fit to height. A little bigger. Something like that.
Word.
And then we bring up the opacity to 100. You can actually just change this.
We have people in the chat being like, Man, I was hoping to get the answer that escaped me for so long when it came to like the different I don't even know what they're called. I call them the multiply things.
Yeah.
But
The blending
yeah.
modes. Yeah.
Excellence. We were all wishing for that answer too. I thought Pontus the master. Even it eludes him. This is a world mystery. This is a world mystery, guys.
It kind of is. It's a tough one. Okay, and then we have the car placed in, and then we want to have the titles. So I'm gonna bring back the reference layer on top, and then we have number 1. It's gonna place it up here, and then we have number 2. Zoom in, quality. Okay. And then I'm just going to drag in the other ones. I don't know exactly where they're going to go right now, but we're going to figure it out later.
It's the process, guys.
It's the process. I mean, I've never broken down my own project like this before, so.
It's all good. This is why we're all here. This is why we love you. We all came together because we all want your skills, your blonde hair, and your eloquency. All I can bring to the table is my energy. That's only so much.
Hey, that's a lot. That's a lot of energy. We need that. We got some answers in the chat.
We got some questions in the chat. Hold on. We have answers in the chat. Ooh, Christina.
Yeah. Blending mode.
Blending modes subtract or adds light and shadow between two. I don't even know what that means. Christina, unpack it for us even more. Let's go.
Yeah, we need more. Okay, so let me see what we're gonna do next. Okay, let's start animating some stuff moving, because this is something I do. I rarely know exactly what I want to do before I do it. So that's why I often go right into After Effects or any animation program you just play around.
Yeah.
And then you figure out what feels right. So let's start by going layer, new, null object, and that's basically an invisible layer that doesn't do anything other than anchoring other things to it. So we're gonna fit this to comp so we know exactly where it is, and then we're gonna go in all these titles and we're gonna anchor it to that null object. You can also name this to movement or something that makes sense. And then we can go in 2 seconds something to have some room. And we click P to bring up position. And then we go a second forward. And then we swipe to the right.
Is everything on a null object? Is that what you did?
Yeah, so that's on the null object itself, yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I close the reference folder. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Very static and beautiful.
Hey.
Hey.
Do you play a lot with with the curves when you animate? Is that something we're gonna get into today?
Yes.
Okay.
I have not done manual curves for a while. I usually use this plugin called Motion 2. It's very, very popular.
Yeah.
And you can basically do everything.
That saves lives. It's like that's like, for me, you have folders that save your life. This shit saves my life. I'm like, all I have to do is click a button. Yes.
Yeah. There's
like,
another one called a friend called Flow. It's also good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been stuck on this for years. But you can also go into the curve editor here, and you can get finicky with these. It's just a lot of work. I mean, I think you should know about this, how it works, but maybe not. When you know about it, you don't need to do that every time. So I use the motion plugin, and let me show you how that looks like. Okay, so I go up here, and I basically want to have it like pretty fast in the beginning, and then I want it to snap like in both times. It's gonna be pretty snappy, so 40 and 60 something, and this doesn't make sense now, but you're gonna see when you move it like this. Let's just shrink this preview in, or we can do like really snappy. Or in the end, you can do like 100, and it's gonna really glide like something on like a table. In the end.
That was like butter. I feel like I need a butter emoji now, guys. You know what? I think I might just get one.
You have that?
I don't know.
You have a butter emoji? That's awesome.
I don't know. I'm gonna make one. Those in the chat, who wants to get hired to make a butter emoji?
How do you even make that?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So either way, you can do it in any way you want here, depending on your vibe. But then let's start and continue doing this with the rest of them. Let me move it even more. And then we can bring up some grids to see that we are aligned with this and try to match it. Like that. And then I also move my timeline by having Command Shift. So I move in increments of 10 every time, like this. Huh. So I usually do 6 for a second, 3 in a pause, like this. But we can also adjust this later, depending on how long we want to stay on each flow.
How did you get those green lines up there? You're doing like mystical stuff, and I'm like...
Oh, you missed it. I go down. Do you see this? Or is it off screen?
If I missed it, because I was trying to get it in the chat. If there actually is a butter emoji. Everybody, by the way, we learned that while Pontus was magically doing his thing. But if you already showed it, it's okay. I don't need to be caught up.
Oh no, it's all good. At the bottom here, little icon, and you can add in different things here: grids, rulers, and guides. So I use click grid, and I got these.
Got you.
Okay. And then we have this one, 1, 2, and then next one. And I think we're never going to be on the refined flow. This flow is only 2 swipes, but that's something we might build out later. That's going to be a exclusive extension. I don't know. Oh, and then I go on these keyframes, and I can click on these arrows here to use copy paste the easings that I used. And then let's preview how that looks like. So that looks pretty nice. Also, if your computer is struggling, it could be a good idea to just render out this draft, and you see how it looks like live, so you don't trick yourself of the speed and stuff.
Got it.
Okay. All right, and now we want to move the car in the same easing and the same speed. So we go into the car and click position as well. We go to the same keyframe as the ending point, and then we move it to where we want it to be. And I don't really know where I had it last time, but let's just wing it here. And then the last one goes to the driver. And then for now, let's just animate the refined one as well.
How long did it take you to... I'm just going to ask some questions here. I know it's going to get really hard because we're in technical shit now. And you're like, Brandon, you need to calm down. I gotta talk through this while we're doing this. But I want to ask, for those who are, possibly in the chat who have not animated, I know we have quite a few animators in here. But how long did it take you to learn to actually animate to the skill level you're at today, and how exactly did you go about it? Was it just like you spent your day on YouTube? I mean, I assume that's the answer for most people nowadays because it's just so easy to do that. But what is the answer to that?
Yeah, so I was just playing around. I felt like when you do some digital experience, it's hard to get the full sense of what you want to do with stills. So I used animated stuff and went on tutorials for sure. You just open the program, super intimidating. And then you just try to learn and you just played around with all different stuff and keyframes. And I mean, it's several years of just playing around. But I think if you're interested, and it's just a lot of fun, to be honest, and bring stuff to life.
I think you said something really key. So a lot of people are like, how do I get a job? I feel because I'm mentoring a lot of people, or like, how do I get the skills? And for me, I'm just like, I like to play around with a lot of shit. And I think people are like confused that when people say that, and it's because they think there's like something that they have to get, whether it's like, that one course that's going to put you on the map, or that one whatever. It's not something. It's like actual trial and error. It's what you said. It's playing around.
Yeah, for sure. Like I can't identify my path. It's just been all over the place. I think that's with most of the things, though. Just explore, Be curious, stuff.
Be curious, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Quoted, Pontus Wellgraf.
Okay, I'm gonna adjust the easings here a little bit, just to 60, 80. And then I'm gonna select all the keyframes. And then we're gonna play this back. And we should have a car and text moving. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Things look good. I think for now, you can notice that the title and the car is moving at the same time. So our effect here is to make them delay from each other. So we might do that the text is moving a little faster than the other things. So let's move them 4 keyframes to the left. Okay, so now we got the basic interaction here. We can go ahead and add in the close button. And again, this is not really like based on anything. This is more like given the concept that you will be in some sort of experience and a way to go back. I'm so split about this. Just adding in a close button for the sake of it. If it feels really, it goes against me. But for this case, it's just inspire people and do what you feel and mention that when you post this and say that this is some exploration I do and excited to hear your thoughts and stuff. So, okay. And then we go back to the car and we want to animate the lines before this flow is happening. So this is the ending point. We go back to the car and we go into the lines and let's see what I did last time. I'm gonna write stroke. And I think this is the one I used. No, that's not the one. Actually, I can actually give a killer tip of how to have 2 windows up at the same time, because this is the perfect moment where I need to reference the previous motion file. So this is actually a thing that I use so much and I never knew about before. So you have a project where you want to reference another one. So let's go into applications. After Effects, right one. There we go. Right click on the After Effects, show package contents.
What is the package contents? Because now I'm even like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I mean, this is just folder names. I have no clue what it is either. But this is a directory you want to go to open another window of After Effects.
Yeah.
You double click this one inside of a Mac OS. And again, I have a tutorial about this too, promotion. But it's super useful. So I double click that one and After Effects is firing up for the second time. It's loading.
Wait, you can have 2 After Effects open at the same time?
Yeah.
But what is the purpose of that?
So right now I'm gonna open up my old file to reference what I made with the stroking.
Oh, got you. I was like, your computer is going to die. 2
I mean,
After Effects? It's like before, if his computer was like before, now it's like
Okay, presentation. Okay, here we go. I mean, let's see if I'm still online after this.
Guys, let's put some ones in the chat for fingers crossed.
Yeah.
For Pontus's computer. What computer do you have, by the way? I think there was while we're waiting for this, I think there was a couple questions from a few peeps. EJ was asking, Pontus, what do you use expressions to save time? I assume that we talked about that was that plugin that you use, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was it called?
Yeah.
Motion 2?
Motion 2. And another one is called Flow. And there's several of them you can use. And scripts, you can also use scripts to keyframes to automate stuff. And for example, like counters and numbers going up and down, very useful. I would say I don't use them that much, but I wish I knew more. So if you have any high tips, put them in the chat, because I'm always open to be more effective with stuff. Okay, so here we have the other window of my previous motion file. I'm just going to peek into the car composition and see what I did with the strokes. Okay, so I actually made them in After Effects. Okay, let's do the engine linear wipe. Okay, there we have something. So in this case, I actually took the effort to make these lines separate in here. But as you can see, they are not like super perfect.
Yeah.
Like
But it's good enough. The
really...
effect is there. Yeah.
The image is also not a high resolution, so that's a pity. But I'm gonna go back, and I did something with the engine, how that comes in like this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use the linear wipe. So let's go back to the other project and search in effects, linear wipe.
Is it linear wipe or is it trim path? There's a question in the chat.
I think I tried to trim. That's true. I can try that to trim. I'd add it in here, right? Still living.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've used. So back in the day, I used to do like VFX and
nice.
Like I'm dusty in After Effects, man.
Right. Yeah. Are you gonna get back to it?
I mean, a lot of my time is spent on like guys actually. And actually, I would really love for you to be a part of this, Pontus. I think we talked a little bit about the tournament that I'm creating. If you guys saw, man, I'm so excited. Like I've been working with 3D artists right now to create like a design world, guys. I can't. For those of you guys who are here now, you are very blessed to even hear about this. I've been trying to keep it under wraps because me and my partner Ryan Hayward are gonna come out of left field, basically, where we're gonna allow designer versus designer, basically creatives. We want to expand upon not just designers, but people where they can come together and compete against each other with their creative skills based on a prompt and a time limit to create something miraculous. So yeah, you guys every week will see something a little more, but to answer your question, you were saying, will I continue to get into After Effects? I have teams for that, so like a lot of my time is spent working with amazing people like you, Pontus, like, because my time is like, or my value is excitement in audience. So if I'm able to hand that to people to like create more excitement around what amazing things that they do, that's what we do, guys. So if any of you guys in the chat also want to have the ability to come do this and just show your skill set and whatnot, holler at me. But yeah, I don't have the time, or it's not conducive for my time to be in After Effects. If anything, if I'm in After Effects, really, I probably am in Adobe XD to simulate like movements that I need, because it's really done in like 3 clicks, and so I can say, hey, no, like this, and I can send it to my team.
That's true.
Yeah. That's
fair. It takes a lot of time to do it. So yeah, I don't know if I would get into After Effects if I started from scratch today. It's a tough one, but I think for me it's just passionate to just do something that moves. It's just overweights the cons of it. But that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like dehumanize this program to not be that intimidating, because as you can see, hopefully, this is not very, very complicated. It's just a few layers, and just thinking behind it, I would say it's just 90% of it, of how you plan it ahead of time.
For sure.
So this time we do the motor like this. I'm just gonna adjust some things. So the lines coming in.
Pow.
The motor, and we also want to do like I want to have it like a feather. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's nice.
Ooh, yeah, that was nice.
That's nice.
Ooh, can we all get some hand kisses in the chat? Can we? Yes. Either that, or let's get some claps for Pontus. We can't hear you, but we can feel you. All right, so guys, if not, I want some explosions to happen in your brains, in your hands. Clap away, because this is what we do. We're going full Naruto mode. All right.
Awesome. Yeah, it's getting there.
It definitely is.
Okay, let's go back. Let's see how it looks. Let me swipe to the next one. And the last one is, like a dollar sign. Let's see if I have it here. No. So let's go back to the design file, and I'm gonna grab this little guy. I'm gonna rotate it back. And let's do like 3x in case we want it to be big. So we want like 2 or 3 money things to come up as we did in the previous flow. So let's start by doing position. I'm just gonna do it on the side. I'm gonna move it like over here, so I have nothing is happening in the background. I'm gonna remove the grids. Okay, and then we wanted to move from the downwards, and we also wanted to flip like a little coin or something. So let's hit this little box here, 3D.
The 3D jump.
And that's gonna make, so it's gonna be like a fake 3D. It's still like a flat asset.
Yeah.
But it's just gonna fake that effect that we wanna have. You can move this here. So let's start with a regular rotation and then try to do 2 laps maybe. And then we can use preview this. We're gonna area here what's happening.
Ooh, wow. That reminds me of some jump from Mario. All I want to say is like, oh no, Luigi.
Well, like when you die and you don't have.
I saw this hilarious meme the other day, or it wasn't even a meme, it was a video. It was a pretend of like Mario like driving and getting in a car accident with Luigi, and he was like, "Oh no!" He's like, "Luigi."
That was exactly the voice. With the meme, Mario.
That 5% Italian hits right sometimes.
So good. Okay, so I added some easings, and immediately we got some nice effect here actually.
That's really sick.
And we also wanna, let's do some curve, like rotate it. So this in the bottom, so let's start there and here. And let's move it to the right. And then we drag this little line. And then this little line. Let's see how that looks like. And the same easing. Let's not do the same easing and see how that looks like.
Ooh.
Oh.
That alone, just like, I just need to fan myself.
It's pretty nice. It's better than the original.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. Okay,
Money.
and last thing, I think, is to make it come from nothing and appear. So that's the scale. And then we do 0 to see how that looks. And then the same easing. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellence says the genius, and I think we can all agree. Would you be down to share these? Would you be down to share these assets or not? How do you feel about that?
I can share it.
Guys, who in the chat wants to see the master's assets? We can put that in the chat or share that some other way, depending on how this goes. I don't know. I just thought about this. So it could get messy, but that's the only way we do things, or at least me. You're on the wrong channel if you come here.
The crazy thing is that I actually prepared an asset package in case you would ask.
Wow. Is this what you were talking? I know you were like, Brandon. All right. Okay. Ooh. See, guys, he thinks that.
Yeah, let me know if you want it.
The background. So Pontus messaged me earlier this week, like, I'm so excited. I wish the week would fast forward. And I was like, I needed to slow down. Send help, please. Yeah. All right. So this music.
Okay. So what I did now is to basically move it out from the main composition and just have it inside of the car, because in case I want to adjust the movement here, I don't need to do it separately from everything else. So I'm gonna have all the elements of the car in the car composition and everything else outside of it. It's gonna be more clean. And then we're gonna see where it is. And now we want to place it where we want it to be. And I believe somewhere here. And then we also want to make duplicates of this one. Okay, so let's copy this one And then we do a null object again, because if I move it here, let's say we go here and I want to move it, it's going to mess up everything that we made. It's going to look like this. Instead, I just use this plugin again, click null object, drag in the null object where I want it to be, and then I can delete it. And then I have it there. And then I want to adjust the timing of them. And then also I want to adjust the rotations. So one comes from the left, one comes from the right.
How often do you rely on null objects? Because I know, like, once you get an animation piece down, like, is that like you get, like, especially when you're duplicating objects, is that typically your workflow where it's just like, all right, we have one animation down, and now let's use the null object to keep everything the same and just like manipulate its position as needed?
That's pretty good call out, because that's exactly what I didn't do here. So as you said, I should pre-composition this thing because I want to reuse it, and just call it money. And then I place that one here. And yes, so then I can just change this one when I want all of them to change. Brandon, you saved everything here.
I saved people? My goodness.
So good.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's see. Kinda. I kind of messed it up now, I think. Okay, I think, yeah, we're gonna have the money composition, we're gonna animate outside, but yeah, it's still a good call out. Okay.
I actually didn't even know. It was a serious question. I wasn't trying to call out anything. I was just like,
That's good. Okay, and then we go back. Do this again. And then we also want it to in a different size, so it doesn't have to be the same size. So let's scale this down to something like that. And then let's do another one, and we do this one.
Have you ever thought about creating, do you have courses? Or are you thinking about creating courses for animation, or are you just focusing on YouTube? I've
been thinking about it, but I think I want to make sure that I can bring the value before I sign up that I'm going to teach people. So I think I've been doing tutorials on YouTube, which I've been loving. Used a lot of stuff with the, production, the scripting, so much work behind it, but it's been awesome. So I think my plan was to build a library with videos, see if people like it, if they want it, and then maybe I can do something. I have a nice backdrop wall and stuff now, so that's going to be good.
You got the nice setup
yeah,
for production.
If people want it, I think I would do it.
It's good answers.
Yeah. It's all about the people. That's another quote.
Guys, we have 3 shirts we need to make by the end of this stream. And like we said, guys, we're just moving things around right now. This is truly trial and error. Like, I don't think any artist, designer, creative has, like, they know the steps that is needed to take and to make something happen. However, it changes each time. He's already done this. And the first time it was bomb. Now this time he's like, as we're doing the process again, he's like, oh, this actually looked better. So there's not, it's interesting when, and I would love to hear what you think about this too, Pontus, where it's like, there's just, we know what we want to do, but there's no like, and then you walk 5 feet forward and then you take a quarter turn to the right and then there's your answer. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm doing now, to be honest. It's just like trial, and I don't think it looks very good so far. I think the money could be way better. But yeah, that's the process. This is like the raw thing. And just remember that everyone is doing this. Everyone. No matter how good it looks like live, it's gonna be like this in the process, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, and we want it to be in here. There we go. Okay. Okay, a little late. Okay.
Yeah, and even as I think this is what a lot of people don't realize also is that you know when you're like, and trust me, I understand you can answer it if you don't want to answer, because I don't know who's in the chat here. They might be where you're working at Fantasy. They'll be like, oh, that Pontus, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Call you into HR next time. Hey, Excellence, we'll see you later. Thank you for coming. Let's see. But what was I gonna say? I think when people see the short animation like that you showed us in the beginning, where it was just like, oh, okay, that's cool, but then they don't know like how much time and animation and tweaking that went into it. So they're like, oh, it's a 7-second animation. It should take you like 0.2 seconds to make the fix, right? And it's like, no.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's hard for other people to understand how much effort it goes in. But it's also a high ask for them to understand because it's very complex.
Yeah.
But I mean, with time, you understand how.
Some question in the chat, like, what are your specs for your machine? Because I know when I'm even in After Effects, I'm like, oh, fuck the rendering thing. Like, I always have to wait before I see it like in action. I'm just like,
yeah.
Like,
I have the same issue. I have one of the latest MacBooks, unfortunately. But it's still not performing as I want it to be, sadly.
Yeah.
I think a PC would be the best. Something with a large,
PC.
like ventilation fans, like more place for the air to go, because this laptop is just cramming everything in. And not even the latest MacBook, I would say, is performing. But it also depends on what you do, and I think like the way you handle the assets, the way you do 3D, for example.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to have a 3D car, for example, here. You can just have a flat image, which will save that energy from the computer. But I think many computers work. It's just time. That's the only issue, I would say. But still, I'm doing renders that's 1 hour long for a 25-second animation, which is crazy sometimes.
Jafar is saying lagom. I don't know what that is.
Oh, nice. It's a Swedish word.
What does that mean?
You can't translate it. It's literally not too much, not too little, just perfect. That's pretty nice.
Oh, dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
Lagom.
Lagom?
Lagom.
Word.
Yeah, it's a very unique name.
That's interesting. I've always thought about like, wait, hold on. We have to watch this later on chat. We have to. So I was watching this. It was some stupid TikTok thing, and it was like, calling cats in different languages, like kitty, 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 like chi, 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 and then it was like strogen, busen, pradum. I don't even know, but it was like how you say like cat in like German. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
but
you got some complex language over there.
Yeah, I feel like there's just like you were like, that term logum. There's no like translation for it. Like,
yeah,
I really find it like interesting how in other languages you can't really translate some of them. Like some of the words are like feelings, which is weird.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
They don't have a translation, which I'm like, oh shit.
Exactly. Doesn't all languages have those kind of words? I would think so, right?
I don't know. I mean, what can't you say in English? I think if you whatever, like if there isn't something you can't say in English, it's usually like fuck, shit, or ass. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, the only thing that you can say if you're like hangry or if you're angry, happy, sleepy, like that's America. Like you can only describe your feelings in those ways, and there's just like many ways of just saying those things.
This moment here, it goes from like white bluish to the car. And we also see now we're getting into complicated territories where we see the close and the racing is moving separately, which means we need to redo those assets or divide them in some way. And that's what I thought about before. If I had that in mind, I would export the assets in 2 pieces, but I didn't do that now. So now I have to basically remake them, and that's going to be some efforts. Okay, so we're going to do this first fading in thing. Okay, So we want this to complete three steps before the first swipe. And then first we want the car to fade in. We want it to move up. And then we add in keyframes, and then we do opacity 0. We do position downwards. We also add in there we go.
I'm super excited when we start getting to the 3D stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hurry up too, so it's not going to be dragged out, but we got time, right?
Yeah. There's no such thing as dragged out here. There's only goodness, laughter,
That's true.
and Pontus.
Brandon. Okay, and then I add the easings as before, and then we see it's transparent here, so we need to add a background. So I'm just going to go up here into the rectangle tool. I'm going to make it a rectangle, right click, and then transform, fit to comp. And then we change that color to like the background. It's going to be the same as the car. I'm going to move it down, see how it looks like. Okay. And then I also fit it back. Okay, and I can background place in the bottom, and then there we should have it. Okay.
It's looking clean. Oh, oh.
Yeah, I think it should be like it starts from nothing, it's just fast from the beginning. And then also the opacity, let's move that back forward a little bit so we don't get that pause. It's going to be a pause moment in the beginning, but we want to just fade it in right after it moves. There we go, and we can add also move it down a little bit more.
I love the sequencing of everything that you have. It's really well thought out in terms of like, because if you have, I feel like when I first see a lot of people who do animation, it like all slaps the screen at one time, and it's just like, why, you know, there should be a sequence of things that happen. Like the first thing we see first, at least, is like the title, then that car comes up just a small second after it, and then you have the X.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's important. It's like a rhythm to build in. Okay,
guys, we're animating a square now. Get ready. This is the real shit. This is what we came for.
So luckily I saved the project, I believe. Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm gonna import some gestures that we're gonna use above this.
Gestures? What is a gesture?
So you want to have like the swiping to the left.
Oh.
Let's go up into import. And then
where do you
file.
go grab those from? Can you just grab them from?
So this is a pack I bought for some time ago. And you can also make them yourself, but I think there's some package out there that you can buy or get for free, but this is one I bought for a few years ago. Basically have all the touches you can imagine. I can show you a little bit. So this is a 3D touch. Pretty nice. And here we have a double tap. And we have a horizontal swipe. This is the one we're going to use. I think I would love to do my own, but I haven't really focused on it. It's like a small detail, but this is very nice to have these. Okay.
Out of curiosity, would you rather? Because I'm a huge proponent of like leveraging assets. Like I hate making shit on my own.
Yeah.
Do you like to make your own stuff customized, or from the get-go, or do you like to buy something that at least saves you like an hour or two and then like change it? How do you like to work?
I think I've been always, I want to do my own stuff, but now with years and just, it takes too much time, takes too much effort, and also trying to evaluate what brings the value. So for me to spend, like for my YouTube, for example, I spend maybe like 4 hours to make everything custom, like everything, like follow me, subscribe, like, and the title in the beginning and everything. But that's once, and I can use everything over and over. Same here. I think it depends. If you use it over and over, maybe it's worth have that branding moment with your own stuff. But in this case, when it's just a simple swipe, as you can see, it's not really a branding moment. This should be invisible. It shouldn't be like the focus. So in this case, I think I will buy it. And so I did. But that's a fair point. I don't know how everyone else is feeling about that, but I think it's a mix, for sure.
Yeah, we have Low Bear in the chat is saying, I like to make my own shit like Pontus.
Nice.
Cat emoji. Yeah,
Cat emoji. Nice.
I love watching this process stuff. Like all this gets lost in the back end of like seeing the final piece of like someone's dribble work or someone's portfolio. Like this is, people don't understand like how long it takes. It's only been I think it's only been an hour and 30, but like
oh wow,
for
long time. Feels like 20 minutes for me. I mean, head down.
Yeah, that's what happens when you absolutely love what you do. I was talking to somebody yesterday where they were like, do you want to do what you're doing now for the rest of my life? And because we were talking about like what were we talking about? We were talking about like, do you want to work for somebody, or do you want to like have your own brand? And I know this is something that we've talked a little bit about together. And my answer, I hate taking direction. I just do. I have very, very very strong opinions as well. And it's just very difficult when you're working for somebody that also has not just working for, but working with, and where there's like clashing ideas and stuff. And when you're super talented as you are and many other people are, it's kind of demotivating if you have so much that you can bring to the world and you're in a position where you can only bring like 20% of that. That's why I like to do my own thing, where I can have awesome people like you on, and nobody's telling me, nope, not Pontus, his girlfriend doesn't like the shirts that we want to make. We can't have them. I'm joking, Joanna. We love you. We want to have you on. But what's it called? Yeah, but like that's the stuff that I really care about. What do you think about that when it comes to?
Yeah, it's fair. I think. I think it's different vibes. Being independent has its own benefits, but that's also some downsides of not having a larger team, not having that like established collaboration with the clients and partners and so on. I think nothing is right and nothing is wrong, and I think I like both of them in different ways. I think it's always nice to have something on your own, but it doesn't have to be full-time or something. So as I do here, I used to do a lot of personal stuff on the side where I express my extra ideas and creativity and stuff, and trying to give it back. Yeah,
love it. And guys, let us know in the chat how you feel about that as well.
Yeah, I think it's easy to say, I'm just gonna go freelance, I want to be alone, but then it's a lot of work to do that as well. It's tough to get in there. But nothing is impossible. I think it's just, if you want it, you will find a way eventually.
Yeah, Vicus, do you what is the relationship? It seems like there's a relationship between you and Vicus. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Vicus, yeah, he's on Instagram. My Instagram.
What's going on, Vicus?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Thank you for joining, my man.
Yeah.
Giovanna is saying, totally agree with you, Brandon. And Vikas is saying, Pontus, you're a perfectionist.
I kind of is, yeah.
And just another... Yeah. What shape what does that mean to you, that you're a perfectionist? What does that mean?
It's both very, very bad and very, very good. Very, very, very... I think it's just going to be too much if everything needs to be perfect, and many things in the world is not perfect. So I'm trying to make it perfect, but it's not meant to be. So I think pick your battles when it comes to that. I think reevaluate what brings value for the effort I put in, and that will determine what I should want to be perfect or not. And in this case, this process here is way far away from process. It took 1.5 hours to do this whole thing. But it's a lot of learnings and a lot of like fiddling and collaboration now live, and it's fine. That's not perfect right now, but in the end, maybe it would be nice if it was more refined.
It will be.
Yeah, I think so. Hope so. So what I'm doing now, by the way, is to fade in these titles, since you want to see that you're selected on the first one and the other one should be faded out. So let me do this. And once one is fading in, the other one should fade out. And also this one is too short, so it doesn't look right in the view. So I need to actually adjust this one to move accordingly. So let's see how I'm gonna do this. Move this here. I'm just gonna give it like a position nudge at the same time where the big movement is happening. And I just wanted to move a little bit from the right to the left. I just want to peek it here. And then once it moves, there's another plugin. It's called Ease Copy. There's also a sheeting to just copy this one, the easings I have on this one. I select the new ones and I click paste the easings. So I get the same ones because I don't remember exactly which ones I used up here. Now it should be aligned. And then also I need to adjust the previous one. I want these to peak in the edge, and that's what I'm adjusting now. Okay.
Vikas is in the in the chat saying, "Devil in the details." That's really true. Like,
Sure.
what was that? It's always just very odd, like how deep things can go. Like people are like, "Oh, well," going back to our little conversation about language and the cats. Like, there's spoken language, there's written language, and then there's like grammar, and then it's like, well, how is language actually? I forget the terms of them. I was listening to Tim Ferriss's, I think, breakdown of like how he learns languages and how he has like. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about and how he learns languages?
A little bit.
Yeah,
I've seen it, but not watched entirely.
Me neither. There was like an hour and 20-minute thing, and I've maybe got 20 minutes in. But he goes into discussing like how, people learn languages or they know languages and, they know how to write, but they don't get into like the grammar. And then there was like a term, I'm not sure if it was linguistics or whatever, but there was like a term of like how language is actually built in structure. I don't think it was grammar, but it was just like, he went so far into the details of like how language is structured and or built for different languages in order to understand like how to speak in those different languages correctly. And actually, like, by going that deep, he found loopholes of like how to actually structure his sentences. He would only need to learn like one sort of sentence structure to use in multiple cases rather than learning like different variations of it's like the difference between like learning an entire language that versus like learning just a few strings that get you throughout life.
That's cool.
Which was interesting.
Almost like the thinking behind it rather than the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like something that could be about memory as well, how you memorize things. It's not really about the words, it's more about how you put the words in like a story, for example.
Yeah.
That's cool. I need to check that up. I want to learn more languages.
How many languages do you know now?
I do Swedish, my native, and then English.
That's 3. That's 2 more than me. I actually have half of English. I don't even speak that too well. I got a quarter English, dog. Half the words I use are made up.
Nice. That's fair enough. You need to innovate.
See, I like that. We need to. Brandon, that's gonna be my t-shirt. My t-shirt. Brandon can't speak English. Underneath, quote by Pontus. It's okay to innovate.
Where do you get that shirt from? So good. Okay, what's happening here? Okay. We need to fade this one back in. Opacity. I'm trying to be ordered here so it's not messy. Everything is fading in, but this one is not. Okay, there we go. Okay, and that one's go to 50. So it's basically 50 and 100% is one using. So when it's peaking, it's 50, and then it goes to 100. And then use small movement here to have them peaking. Okay, so I think we are pretty much done with this flow, I would say. Unless anyone have any opinions.
No, I think we're good, man.
So I can render this, see how fast that's gonna be.
Oh, we didn't think
the
about
render
that. It's
setting.
okay. While it's rendering, we can go back and we can chat to. We can just have like story time. It's all good. But let's see how long it renders.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Is it rendering now?
No,
Or what is the time on
I'm
it?
gonna set it up. So I used to render it via Adobe Media Encoder. It's gonna open up the shell program here. And I usually do the H264, and this is a thing I never know what it is, but it's like a format. I mean, I wish I knew more about this, but this is the thing when you get into like After Effects. I've been skipping so much things, like the principles behind things and like the structure. I've just been winging everything, and then eventually you finding and learning. So I learn stuff everything I open this program. But this is one of the things that I have not much clue about all the formats here. I've been sticking to this for a while.
I'm there with you. I'm like, it works. That works. So we can figure out later.
Like I don't need to know, right? I just need to click that thing and it does it. Renders, and we do main UI motion flow. Okay, and there we go.
It's already done?
No, it's waiting.
Oh, okay. How much time does it have on it?
Let's see. It's gonna estimate soon. I might go and close down the other one. I still have the other After Effects program in the background.
It's like
yeah, it's lifting off to March.
We are A-okay. All right, we got Pontus. He is back. His computer was like, not today.
Yeah, so I had to take out my fire extinguisher. Crazy.
Oh god. Oh, thank you
Latest
guys.
MacBook. That was nothing though. It should handle that stuff.
This is why I think we need to move to Team PC. This is why we need to move to Team PC.
I miss my PC back home in Sweden. It's a pretty good one. It's just too bad you can't use it with all the softwares. But I think some of them now, including XD and stuff, is multi-platform.
Yeah.
Let me bring the stuff up again.
So your entire PC was like, nope, goodbye, it's night-night. Like it just
literally like a breathing, like a last breathing, and then shut down.
Boom. Ha.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Let's bring up both of them at the same time and see where we got from scratch.
Moment of truth, guys. We got both at the same time.
Okay, let me play this. So I did a little wheel here last time, but I never used it in my final presentation. I didn't think it was that good. But yeah, I think we're pretty close to what we had in the beginning.
Yeah, we're pretty good. I think we can still move on to 3D, man, because that's what a lot of people, everybody's like, where the 3D at? There's 3D in the title. Where is it
Yes.
at?
Okay, so let's do another project just to start from scratch and have it more clean stuff. And whenever we need to have the motion file updated, we're just going to render a new one.
Yeah.
So let's do new project. And we also, and now we can do like let's do a dribble format. I usually do, dribble has 1600 times 1200, but I usually do 1920, 1440. In that case, you can use it for your design reels and reuse that format and have it in a larger quality, of course. And just use this, call it main and then presentation.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to do the same thing again. Assets, image, compositions, and I'm going to place it in there. We got a racetrack in the background, and this one I pre-made in After Effects with some blur and stuff. And my goal here was just simply, I could use this as like an environment and you can pan around as a camera, but instead I just have as much as possible flat, but then have the phone alone being 3D. And then this is just some other stuff. Actually, it's just one photo we can use. Yeah, this is some other Formula 1 stuff in here. I don't know why it's in here, but yeah, let's delete that. And let's start with the racetrack background. Okay, so how we add in the 3D, we go into Layer, New, Solid. And that's basically like a plain object without like a background. Doesn't matter what you pick here. Let's pick something, and then we can name this 3D device. It's going to be the same size as this one. And then you go into your effects. If you have this plugin installed, it's called Element. Double click, and it's going to be added to the scene. And the solid is not visible. It's just going to be a thing. And then you go into the scene setup in here. And this is going to bring up the actual Element 3D interface. So disclaimer, I haven't figured out everything in this program, but basically it's just import things that is pre-made, and then you can tweak some stuff, but it's not made to like 3D model in here. So it's more just importing. So let's go back into our 3D assets. Stream motion, presentation. There we go. Okay. Boom. And here we should have a device. So basically you can move around, pan around and see how it looks like. And Brandon, you're gonna art direct me how you want this to look like now.
I had to art direct? Ooh.
Or everyone, really. What color, what shape, should it be reflective, should it be matte? You can do all
Let's
of
go
it.
matte. Let's go matte.
Let's go matte. What color?
We gotta do black, dog. Wait,
Black?
Wait, hold on. We gotta think about the background, guys. We have to think about the background.
That's
If
true.
you guys wanna, if you guys wanna art direct too, join us in the chat. All right. I think we should go like a so what are we working with? Let's go. I remember the background was a little bit lighter, but also what we're working with design-wise inside of it is lighter. I would say just to be safe, like a white matte.
A whitish. Okay, let's see.
Or a gray, like a off-white maybe.
So basically, I'm just going as everything else. So this is reflective and stuff here. So this is everything is winging. I just go in and like push all the buttons in the world until I have the result I want. I don't have a process here either. So here we have a white. We can adjust different things. The background. Let's do this.
Yeah, having things where you can just like upload it and have it be there. Like, imagine, like I know some of the designers are like, all right, now we need the iPhone. Now I gotta make the camera. I gotta make the casing. And I'm like, no, $25.99. Go to Envato. Does 3D? Does this? This is Element 3D, right?
Yeah, it is.
How does this come with the program, or you downloaded it from somewhere? This mock-up.
So this is a free model I found online a few months ago. Yeah. So I think you can buy a lot of nice high definition devices and stuff, but this is a free one.
You can get a lot of good free stuff too.
What did you say?
I said you can get a lot of good free stuff too.
Yeah, you can.
Just like you were saying, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back and take the camera. It's in the front. Let's see where the layers is. I'm usually just clicking around here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. We can change the screen to red for now. Let's do black and you see what it looks like. do you think about that?
I dig it.
Edge a little grayish. Okay, let's tweak this one. Oh, that's cool.
That's nice.
A little glossy.
I think it works.
It's not matte anymore, though.
Well, step by step. We'll see what it looks like because it's not even rendered yet, right? It's still like in
no. So let's just save this one and see how it looks. It's gonna appear in the middle. Okay, so it's super small. So let's go back. And this should deserve our own tutorial, to be honest. Everything about this. But let's do like 300% larger. And then go back. Okay, that's really nice. And then I can show quickly how we're gonna animate this, and then also how we mount the screen inside of here. So I'm gonna go down into World Transform in the sidebar here. And all of this, you can manipulate everything here. And I usually do rotation, world rotations, all of these 3. And the added keyframes here, you can jump into like 6 seconds or something. We have some margin on the side of us. And then jump down a second. And then basically you can tweak this and you can just drag this. And now the computer is going to burn up.
It's all good.
I think
We are
the
prepared.
live stream is heavy. So basically just let's just try to do that enter thing. It comes from the bottom, it rotates and comes up. So we're gonna do also position. There we go.
I wish life was like, you know, like if for whatever reason something wasn't the size, I could just walk back in the bedroom and be like, increase by 300%, please.
That'd be nice.
If only real life paralleled with After Effects.
That would be nice.
Increase 300%.
Yep. Okay, and then I twist it a little bit here. I'm gonna decrease the quality to half to save our time a little bit. And then I want it to land sideways. I want it to be angled down a little bit, like that. And also the size a little too much, I think. So maybe bring down to 0.8. And then we can add an easing to that. Let's do like 2080. It's gonna like float in the end, it's gonna glide up there. There we go.
Hey.
Very nice. I'm gonna increase the duration a little bit, make it a little more smooth.
Daniel in the chat says, Siri, increase by 300%. Oh, God. Guys,
So
hopefully we can get some of those. Never mind, let me just stop. Just make some people uncomfortable. But y'all signed up for this. Y'all came to the live stream.
Yeah. That's awesome. I wish I could do voice commands. That would be awesome.
Voice commands. Oh, we were talking about something else different.
Oh, okay. Just swap. Sorry. I'm just gonna stick to my model here. Okay, so there we have it. Let's move it down a little bit. We want this to also look like it's on the floor. So let's move it down. Let me double check one thing.
Lobert's like, I dig it.
But you've been doing 3D. You said no?
I did back in the like 4 years ago, but then it was like if you're interested, we can actually show some of the cringe-worthy things that I was a part of when it came to VFX.
Sure.
And it was pretty interesting. If you're not tired or anything, we can just chat it up after this, and this can be
nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
What's it called?
Okay, so let's move forward here, and we now want to add in the screen into this. So let's do a new composition, which is the screen. We do new comp from selection, we move it up, name it to screen, and then we're going to drag it in and just place it inside of the Let's see. This is not the screen. This is the main. Main. This is the screen. Okay. We drag that into the composition and we hide it. We don't want it to be shown, and it's not going to be shown later. What we want to do is to go into the effects. We want to go down to custom layers. We're going to go into custom texture maps. And then in layer 1, we want to select screen 1, which is basically this layer down here. So it's saying that this is the one we want to map. And it's still not in the phone, and that's because we need to map it in the element 3D as well. So we go into the scene. And here we finding the screen layer in the model here. And we go into the diffuse, the first one here on the left, on the right. And we click the non-set, click the down arrow. And then here, we should have custom layer and it says screen, which means it understands now that that's the name of it. And if we click this one, the screen should now appear in the model. Right in a second or so.
Let's count it down, guys. 3, 2,
It should be here.
1.
Nope. Let's reset this one. Because I changed the color to black, and maybe that was why.
Maybe. Like it did a little override or something.
There we go.
There we go. See?
There we go.
I think Joanna had to count to 3. I bet she was doing it. We didn't hear it, and then it just appeared. I think that might would have been it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we click OK, and then we have it. If we go back, and then we have it here in the flow. And now we can just adjust where we want this flow to happen.
Love it.
Oh, nice fire. I like it. Okay. So I'm just timing it. So when it first starts moving, the flow is starting, and then it goes up like this. And this is just going to be so much heavy work for the computer to render. So let me just wing how, the phone is going to flip now when we do the interaction. So we do something like that. And now we just want, let's click all of them. I usually do all of them and don't really know which one is doing what in the end of it. Because everything is going to be very organic in the air.
All right.
And then we do it forward. Now we want it to flip on the other side. So let's just tweak this, see what's happening. Okay. I also want to have it to a good angle so you can see what it is.
There we go.
Okay, let's see what that looks like.
That's sick, yeah.
Let's tweak this one a little bit. Okay, let's do that. And I copy these keyframes. Let's see how that looks like. Let's bring down the quality a little bit more. That's a little too fast. So in the swiping moment, we want to start, and then we want to end. Okay, let's do that.
People in the chat saying this live stream is lit.
It's lit. It's awesome.
Lit.
That's a good review. Okay, so this is all funky, I feel.
No, I think it looks good. I think what needs to happen, and you can correct me, where it just needs like a nice little smooth, like drawn out curve at the end, where it's like, I don't know, but you have to draw out the keyframes, I guess.
That's true. It could also be longer, maybe. A little snap. Okay.
It's like a nice
fast
little
in the beginning.
360 showcase.
This definitely need to be happening faster. But not before the swipe. That's not how it works. Okay.
It's getting there. Guys in the chat,
Getting there.
hit us with a 1 in the chat if you feel like it's getting there. Give us some of that pump up. Give us some of that energy, guys. Let's go. We're going full Naruto mode here. Pump up
Yes.
Pontus. He needs that energy, that flavor,
Yes.
that taste. Guys, there is a fire on the stream for a reason. I need to feel that energy in the chat. I need to see claps. I need to see
So good.
faces. One person left the chat. It wasn't for them. It wasn't for them.
Okay, I'm just adjusting my UI flow here because it's starting here, but then it's black. I want it to be green in the beginning, so I had to increase the things there in the beginning.
We have ones throughout the chat. We have Joanna saying such a rave. Louver is
rave.
like, I dig it.
Oh, shit. Nice.
This is what Vic has talked about. The devil is in the details, or the details are in the devil. I don't remember which one it is. Correct me if I'm incorrect, which most likely it is. But
Yep.
William,
Messing
welcome
up
to
here.
the chat. Thank you.
There we go.
Such support.
Okay, let's move it outside the screen just completely. That's way better. And then we do. There we go. And now.
Yeah, this is like when you start getting really in depth and you have like multiple comps and like having to, because you're working with the timing of 3D, you're working with the time. I mean, even before this, you had like multiple comps to time in the flat version of this, and now you're trying to time everything together.
Yeah, and also the flow itself might be wrong now because it doesn't feel natural to make the rotation fast enough. It's actually getting there now.
Oh, I see what you're trying to do.
I would say it should be like a little pop in the beginning. So let's just adjust that one. There we go.
That was smooth.
That was nice.
Boom.
That's a little fast. I wonder why. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty okay, I think.
Yeah,
Now
the
I just
beginning
wanna
portion, we're
drag in-
definitely there.
What is that?
I said for the beginning, it's definitely there.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So I think it's larger. Okay, it does that nice coming from
Wow.
the screen. That's way better.
That's like, it's all jiggly and I love that.
Mm-hmm. Let me zoom in. Okay, so let's do another composition. We can do another version of this. So this one is coming from the bottom, which is weird. It's literally coming from the asphalt. That's not how life works.
Life does not come from ass in fault.
Sure.
That's like my version of it.
Okay, that's not the shirt.
If anybody ever sees that, they're like, that's definitely Brandon's shirt.
Yeah, typical. Okay, so let's go in and tweak these and just animate coming from the screen instead. So I'm just gonna copy paste the thing. And now let's do a scale. World transform. Scale. How many downloaded the assets that we linked?
I've Guys, how many of you guys went into the assets? If you don't know where the assets are, I'll put it in the chat one more time. But you can find them if you scroll down in our Behance chat. There should be an assets panel with both the name of what it is that Pontus is working on, and you guys can actually design along. It has everything from the assets that he's using, the images, etc. And even if you're not designing along with us now, if you popped in a little bit late, you can download the assets, re-watch the live stream when it's done, and you know. Vicus is asking, where do you find your inspiration for both of us? I'll let you answer that first, Pontus.
I think I take a lot from the world right now, like inspiration, like Formula One. I'm following it. They just got a new car. I didn't see them doing an onboarding flow. I'm just gonna do one. And yeah, just very excited just to see what different things we can make, and try to be like the inspiring for others to do the same. Because I don't believe what I do is the best in the world. It's far from it. It's just the start of it, and I would love to see what everyone else come up with after that. And that's the way we, I think, improve digital experiences. So I think the real world and just things that I'm interested in, just inspiration from it. What about you?
Love that answer. I'm gonna piggyback off of that. Joanna's like so deep. She's over there crying
So
right
deep.
now. Is she in
Hey,
the,
Joanna.
is she?
She's yelling.
You should at the end. She should come on stream and say hello. She's gonna be the next guest.
I locked the door.
You locked the door. Oh wow, guys, you see that?
No, it's open.
No. So I definitely agree with you on the inspiration piece, and you brought in another portion of it where it's just like it seems like you find inspiration in the areas where you feel like there should be things, or that there really could be some awesome things. Like for example, you said I think it's Formulation 1 or F1, am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. F1, you were like, well, they don't have an onboarding flow. They really should. And, by the way, I really think I can, hit it out of the park with, or even not even hit it out of the park. Let me just try something. Let me see what I can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that is a huge, it's a huge thing that I think a lot more creatives need. I feel like there's two different types of creatives, and there's a spectrum for both. There's the creative, earlier on, and I think this happens more often in the earliness of your career, especially when you first come out of school, because I feel like school teaches you the mindset of like take orders. So you have the creative that is like, I'll just wait to be told what awesome thing to make.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they feel as if that is how the world of design works. The world of design is client plus you equals something cool. And then you have designers who get upset who are like, why don't I have any cool shit in my portfolio? It's the client's fault. I never get any cool projects. And like, for whatever reason, they just like forget that they have their skill, and by themselves, they can make cool shit without it ever being asked.
Yeah.
And I that's something that I really, I wanted to point out in what you were saying in terms of like how I felt about what you said, because I feel like the people who tend to excel are the people who are just like, I don't know, I'm gonna just fucking make something. I think I can do it. You don't have to. Well, I don't think I ever have it. It's just like you said, like people. You were saying like you think that you come from it like a humble approach. Like you're not the best. To me, you're excellent, and a lot of people are excellent. But even in your mind, even to where you are, you're like, there's better out there. So that's the like frame of mind that I'm taking. Like even regardless of where you are in the world, there's someone above you and below you, and it just takes. On someone's part, it takes effort to be like, okay, this is where I am. People are like, Brandon, you're smart, and I'm like, no, I'm dumb. Some people will take that as a insult, but I don't remember whose talk it was, but I was listening to somebody and someone said, yeah, I am dumb. I'm dumb enough to try. And I feel like I feel like more people need that, not thinking of they're dumb in that sense, but not being okay with the fact that they might fail in trying something new. Or something that they're not familiar with. Like, yeah. I'm very okay looking stupid in front of many people.
That's good. That's hard to do.
Yeah, but I think
you always want to have a little nice face to what you do and stuff. But I think not many sharing the raw process behind things, like social media, you know, all the pressure to show off and everything. I've been struggling with that a lot. I have a lot of stuff that I've been doing but never showed. Like I literally did this a year ago. We can even go in here and see where the asset was saved for the first time. 15th of September last year is when I made this. And I haven't posted it until now. I haven't felt that it was ready, and that's crazy. Imagine how many people would be inspired by a thing for a year. So I think no more. That's what I feel. It's just get it out there, improve, learn, inspire.
Agreed.
It's very easy to say, but that's my goal.
A question for both of you. How do you imagine design world looking in the next 5 to 10 years? I'm going to let you hit on that. And I would love to know, you can say, just let me know if you can't talk on certain things, obviously, that what you guys are doing at Fantasy. But what are you guys seeing over at Fantasy, or even just you personally? Like, what are your clients looking for? What are you seeing? Is it just strictly design stuff, or is it more like experiential?
I think, I think more and more people in general realize that we are on our devices very much, and we need to enjoy the time while we have it, and everything will be digital, and everything is about data, Facebook and Instagram, all algorithms. Like I literally consider what I should post based on an algorithm.
Yeah.
Like that's so far away from a human being that you can come.
Question in the chat. In your opinion, the presentation is 50% of the good job. What do you guys think?
Oh, that's interesting. How you present your work is equally important as the work itself, maybe. That's what I would say.
I agree.
If your presentation is not good, the work is gonna struggle.
This is true.
Yeah.
I think a good designer or someone who's technically good can be outbeaten by somebody who can present themselves. Like, okay, not okay. Two designers who are the same technical skill. One who knows how to present their work really well, I think can sell much better than the person who's just technically good.
Yeah, agree.
And that's much more beneficial to have on the channel.
Yeah.
Or not on the channel, but like on a team, rather.
Yeah. Isn't there a book called You Can Sell Anything or something? Like The Wolf of Wall Street, they sell a pen. Like literally, whatever it is, you can sell it if you mean it and have a technique for it. Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah, so I think that's what's important. And I actually got to get the whatchamacallit to work. My AR stuff where I can actually put like different things on me. So to answer your question, like there's quite a few things that like, oh wait, not that. There's like weird things that I can do with what is it? AR and stuff. So like this is just some weird stuff. But I like my mustache. This is like my favorite one.
I like the eyes. The rolly eyes you had?
You like the rolly eyes? Yeah, those are my favorite ones. Yeah, bro. This is how we're gonna do the rest of the the thing. Take me seriously.
Wow. That's a cool project you got there then on the side.
Yeah, so that's AR. I mean, some of it can read my hands. The other one is just like when I'm like trolling or whatever. So it's a pretty cool project.
That's awesome.
All right, so where are we now? We're doing mini refinements. What's up?
We're kind of just messing around, really. We kind of have it, and at this point, you're just refining it where you want to be happening. So what I did in the beginning is the screen. I don't know which one we like the most. It's getting a little complicated here with the sort of stuff to get right.
Yeah.
It's also off screen now. And the old version we had was just simple from the background, but it doesn't feel as immersive anymore. We could actually add in a thing here where it's like flipping up as you take your phone and you like raise it to the screen. So let's try to do that, how that will look like. Let's do. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
Okay. And do a scale.
I love the motion that it has.
You like what?
I love how smooth it is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, the amount of patience one needs to like work with an After Effects, I lost ages ago.
Yeah. I'm so into it. I wish I could join the chat and chat again, but
oh, they hear you. Vicus says, well, that he can see my eyes. Well, thank you. That's part of the AR stuff. But
sounds creepy. I can see your eyes.
it was low key creepy, but it's okay. I endorse creepy.
Yeah.
That's looking good. That turn up.
I think a little bigger in the end. So let's make it 1. And let's move it up a little bit. Let's do 0.95 something.
For those of you guys joining the chat, thank you so much. We had 2 new people pop in. Welcome, welcome. Introduce yourself. We'd like to know who we have here. We have Vicus in the chat, Luber. We have Johanna, sorry. Candia, Giovanna, so many others. So introduce yourself, what you do, what you're doing today, and how excited you are for coming into this chat. You've come to the right stream, guys. You are not lost.
It's the only one on a Friday.
This is the only one on a Friday, guys. The only one. Everybody else whose live stream is there, just leave it. Just leave it. Just come join me and Pontus. Come join the crew. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and hit the like button. We're here every Friday with the top designers in the world. Understand this.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is to add another control layer, a null for everything else. I want the background to like parallax zoom in as you're like approaching the floor, because everything is very flat now. Let's see if I got this right. Okay.
Yo.
There we go. Okay. Scale this up, and then it's gonna fast in the beginning, and then very, very smooth in the end, like 80 something.
Ooh.
Let's do. Needs to happen more stuff, more zoom. Later.
Almost there.
Almost there. I think should wait a little bit and then longer.
Ooh. Guys, what are you thinking in the chat? Let us know. We there? We're nailing it. What's up? Y'all been quiet. We can't have that. Let's roll back. Let's roll back. Hold on. Look at us in the eyes, please, right now. You see these? You see my eyes? You see Pontus's eyes? We're serious here. But we can't have you guys serious in the chat. We have to talk. We must know what's happening. What are you guys thinking? What are you guys feeling? Are you thirsty? Let us know. Thirsty for more design from Pontus.
So good.
William is saying, I didn't know anything about this. I'm just here supporting Pontus. You have such good friends.
Oh shit, another Swedish. William, nice. I mean, it's late for them now.
What time is it over there?
I mean, it's not too late. It's 11 on a Friday.
That's late.
Nah. Do you think?
What time do you stay up?
Oh, way too late. I'm trying to work on that too. I love the nights. I love focus and no traffic, no people. Sounds very lonely, but just focus mode, you know, it's noises all the time. And you also feel the urge to get out. Also, if it's good weather, yeah, you need to be outside and stuff. But yeah, it's all about balance. But I prefer the nights over morning every day.
I got that.
You do?
I don't. No, I understand it. I think it's vice versa. It's the same with people like early in the morning. Because I love the mornings. I'm the most energetic in the morning.
Yeah.
And as I start like declining through my day,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm ready for people. But I like to start with me. I don't like starting with people. I feel like that sounds wrong. But, you know, like when you wake up and then you gotta like deal with motherfuckers for the day, and I'm just like, oh God, no. Like I need to do me first, and then other people can come.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. How do you know William? Or William? I don't know. I was trying to be...
Early William?
William.
William Hjalmarsson.
Okay.
Come on.
Das Hosen ist kleiner. That's all I got. That's all my tongue can do.
Yeah. I mean, early friend from home. From home.
Word.
Yeah. Really good guy.
That's some
Awesome.
real support right there.
Awesome skier. So we've been skiing every year, and he's the one that drags the snowboarders when it's flat, and we need speed, and he's like holding his sticks behind him, and we like hooking on and get speed from him. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's his job. Help us get forward.
That's the friends we need. The friends that help us get forward in life.
Yeah.
If
So
I
he's
was-
a really good friend,
Like,
as you can tell.
well, welcome, William. I tried. He's just laughing. I hope you're laughing with us.
I would
not-
laugh as well.
Oh no.
Okay, let's move this out of the way. This little detail, get the shadow out of the way. But yeah, I mean, we pretty much have it. It's just tweaking and personality treats to it.
Word. Bam. I dig it.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Let's give one last round of applause for our man Pontus. He went through, how long have we been doing this? It's almost been 3 hours.
Yeah.
He's only had one sip of water, guys. One sip of water. I've had like, these now have had only 2. I've had 12. So guys, let's show some love. Come on guys. Let's put some hands in the chat. Show some love. Say thank you, Pontus, for this amazing time and showing us step by step. Like, what were your thoughts on like having to do like all the technical stuff and chatting at the same time?
A little freaky, for sure. I mean, I wanted to join in the fun in the chat and engage, you know. Also, I have you on my Zoom on the left, and I also have the stream live, but it's like 10 seconds delayed, so I can't see what's happening. Yeah.
Them 10
But
seconds.
it's all good. Yeah, I love to be into these things, so just
I'm glad.
So there we go. Thanks a lot for watching this longer recap of the stream. I tried to make this format long form as well as highlighting all the key moments. Let me know how that worked for you, and also if you want to see more live streams in the future. I'm sure that's gonna happen because I love this one. Being more spontaneous is taking things for what it is, taking the raw process of the working flow, and also bringing in all the great topics and conversation from you and Brandon. Let me know if you like this video by giving it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you very soon again.